Heavyweight Championship of the World, sanctioned by the IBF, IBO, and WBO, and governed by the DVD. At ringside, the three judges scoring this bout will be from Italy, Walter Cavalieri, from the United States, Robert Hoyle, and from Germany, Manfred Küchler. And inside the ring, from the United States, in charge of the action at the bell, referee Tony Weeks. Und jetzt aus Mannheim, Deutschland, meine Damen und Herren, Dami Gospodai, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, De Blauwe Ecke, wearing black, standing with his trainer, former world champion Buddy McGirt, and officially weighing 115 kilograms. His professional record, 53 fights, 45 victories, including 36 knockouts, with 6 defeats and 2 draws. From Baltimore, Maryland, USA, the challenger, der Herausforderer, ehemaliger Boxweltmeister im Schwergewicht, former 2-time heavyweight world champion, Hasim, the Rock Rahman. And fighting out of the red corner, Del Rota Ecke, wearing red with gold, standing with his Hall of Fame trainer, Emmanuel Stewart. Official weight, 111 kilograms. Professional record, 54 fights, 51 victories, including 45 knockouts with 3 defeats. Aus Kiev, Ukraine, zweimaliger Weltmeister, 2-time world champion, the reigning, defending IBF, IBO, WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko.
Okay, Klitschko, Rahman, you both received your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, right here is good, anything below is low. Right here is good, anything below is low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
Rahman has said, I want it, he's got it. Let's see if the former heavyweight champ really does want what the current kingpin's got.
And as the bell rings, Wladimir Klitschko looks even more buffed and muscular than has previously been the case. Hasim Rahman at 253, and despite a questionable training camp, looks pretty good. I would have to say, Lennox, that Wladimir has improved his pre-fight glower. He stared at Rahman with what looked like bad intentions throughout that entire ceremony.
It was a definite look of disdain. And, the way how this fight started so far, it turned out good because Rock is bent down low. He's got good position, good balance right now. He's looking to get underneath, looking for some opening, but he throws a good jab. And the good thing that he's doing is blocking the jab. He's not getting hit by any immediate jab so far.
Wladimir goes to the left hook and lands that, backing Rahman up. Rahman acknowledged that Klitschko throws maybe the best left hook in the division. He has a very good jab as well, and he's beginning to land it now. Klitschko has threatened records for CompuBox numbers on jabs in many recent fights, most particularly against Lehman Brewster. when he landed the jab with such ease that had the fight gone a long distance, he might have threatened all records for all weight classes.
Rahman is leaving himself very wide open right now for that left hook. Every time he throws that jab, he puts that right hand somewhere by his waist, and you know, later in the rounds may give him some difficulty. I mean, look right there, he's throwing the jab, but he's keeping his right hand down.
Why are heavyweights so reluctant to throw left hooks, Lennox?
I don't know.
You had a great one and didn't use it all that much.
I think it's a great punch, but you know, something has to come before it. Obviously, a jab and a right hand, and you always clean up with a left hook.
And there, Wladimir led with the left hook.
The old axiom is you don't want to hook with a hooker, because if he has a better one than you and it lands first, the fight can end. And I think Rahman knows Vladimir's got a better left hook than him, but you do want to jab with a jabber, because a jab is unlikely to end a fight. But you can disrupt your opponent's even superior jab with your own, and I think, Jim, that's what Rahman's trying to do here.
Yeah, but Klitschko just landed a right hand.
Yeah, and Rahman made the same mistake that he made with me when I threw my right hand. He put out both of his hands at the same time and didn't have no hand back to block a right hand.
No, stop. Come on, watch the back of the head. Here we go.
Wladimir Klitschko said that he was very careful to watch only tapes of the good Rahman, watching the best Rahman performances. But he did acknowledge that he watched the second Rahman-Moskaev fight, in which Oleg Moskaev was able to land his left hook with amazing regularity.
I got you.
And of course, everyone in the division has memorized the left hook right cross combination with which you flattened Rahman in fall of 2001, Lennox.
Let me tell you, that was right before Christmas, and I had a great Christmas after that.
Keep doing just what you're doing. Your jab is working good. You keep throwing them up. They tend much, but after a while, he's going to start watching for that. And that's when you get just keep working that left
Listen. Кидайся, левый снизу постой. И правый не кидайся. Пару раз скинулся с правой.
Left jab, he cannot get away from it. Just keep working.
Pull out. Okay, because he's going to catch you pulling out. Close the gap and keep shooting those body shots. Okay? Relax, baby.
Nice relax, you got it.
Nice relax, baby. Okay, but keep the heat on him. Okay, don't stand
and here we see Wladimir throwing a straight right hand right through the guard of Rahman, and you don't want to take too much of this if you were Rahman.
Big round for Wladimir Klitschko in the first. By CompuBox numbers, 23 out of 50, including 17 connected jabs. Rahman only 4 of 39. So The Rock was not able to get his offense going, as Wladimir Klitschko, as has so customarily been the case, dominated the round with his jab.
Stop.
Rock needs to go in and hit Wladimir to the belly and work his way in.
Stop.
When he's in, he's got to hit to the belly and then come to the head.
Rahman knows that the way he'll beat Klitschko if he has a shot is to turn it into a contest of wills. The question is, will that Klitschko jab sap Rock of his will as this fight wears on before Rahman has a chance to impose his own?
All of Klitschko's opponents tend to complain that he holds, and it certainly is no secret that he doesn't care to fight on the inside much if he can avoid it, and he's perfectly willing to put his arms over your shoulders to make that point.
Rahman is getting set up for the right hand and needs to move his position. Cannot stand in one position and let Wladimir Klitschko set him up for that right hand, because he's like a sitting target if that's the case.
Stop. Come on, watch that back in the head.
Referee Tony Weeks handled De La Hoya and Pacquiao last week and made the trip over to be here for this big fight as well.
Stop.
Now,
Keep your head up.
I know in the corner of Wladimir, Emmanuel Stewart's going to tell him that to throw that uppercut, because he's been ducking right every time Wladimir throws a jab. Rahman ducks, so that would be a good setup for a jab, uppercut, left hook.
The uppercut is a punch that Wladimir has been reluctant to throw sometimes, though he landed a couple good ones against Tony Thompson in his last outing. At age 32, he seems still to be improving technically and can already be described probably as the best technical fighter in the division.
If you look at this jab, even when Wladimir Klitschko has been criticized for less than scintillating performances, that jab lands like a power punch. It's blindingly fast, he does not telegraph it, difficult to time, and it lands with a real thud.
There again, Rahman standing in one position, not throwing any punches, and you know, this is the position where you need to be first. You need to be first, off your guard, jab, 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 but he's not doing that. He's waiting for Wladimir to jab and set him up. And he's looking to work off of that, but whether he has enough speed and power to do that is the question.
In the early part of the round, Rahman, who tastes a right hand there, got to Vladimir's chest about 5 times, but wasn't really able to do anything while in there. And now, as they fight at distance again, all the advantages belong to Klitschko.
Rahman cannot afford to be hit by that right hand too many times.
December 16, it's the premiere of HBO's latest Sports of the 20th Century documentary, Breaking the Huddle, the integration of college football. The next night, Costas Now looks back at 2008, one of the most memorable years in sports history. Relive the best moments of the year with Tiger Woods, Michael Phelps, and others live from New York.
And listen, keep your hands a little tight. You got your hands.
Every time he comes, he stretched way out here, off balance. You just create a little space and then ping, ping, right back.
And here we see 2 examples of Klitschko setting up the right hand, and let me tell you, Rahman cannot afford to be hit by too many of these in this fight. I mean, they're really showing their effects a little bit, and you don't want to get hit by this, so he needs to keep up that left hand.
You want to pop?
Have your Bucks numbers through 2 rounds. Wladimir Klitschko has landed 34 jabs. Hasim Rahman has landed just 12 total punches. Nothing of any real significance so far. So 2 technically pure rounds for Klitschko. And as Lennox Lewis keeps pointing out, the danger is there that a big right hand could end it. Klitschko fending Rahman off with the left, keeping him at bay.
Let him up, let him up, let him up.
And this time it's Rock who reaches out and clinches Wladimir as they come together.
Rock is being flustered by that jab. That jab is bothering him right now, so he's saying he doesn't want to get hit by that jab. He's keeping his hands up and allowing Wladimir to throw his right hand and see if he can work off of it.
Wladimir just did an interesting thing. Normally he throws all right hands straight down the pipe like that one. But moments ago he swept a right hand behind Rahman's guard, much like the right hand with which you knocked Rahman out in November 2001.
Rahman's laying against the ropes. He's just being an easy target. You can't do that because if you get hit by a right hand, there's nowhere to go. His corner is yelling out to him, get off the ropes, and I think that's a good idea.
I think he feels Rahman does. He just doesn't have any chance in the middle of the ring. And maybe he can lure Wladimir into a position where he can hit him with something with his back on the ropes.
Well, let me tell you, Wladimir is really pacing him with that jab, and there's a lot behind that jab, and it's a snapping jab, and it's really giving him some problems.
You get a headache after a while, right?
Well, if I was Rock, I would block that jab. There's no need to get hit by it because all it's doing is damage, and you know a right hand's coming soon.
Well, if it's a strategy at all, it's a desperate one early in the fight from Hasim Rahman.
You see, if I was Wladimir now, I would be throwing a lot of different array of combinations. I would be punching to the body to mix up the punches because right now everybody in this arena knows a right hand's coming. So show something different. Throw a left hook, throw an uppercut, and get Rahman's eyes going somewhere else instead of looking for that right hand. And although he's looking for the right hand, I don't believe he can stop it.
Is Klitschko being too cautious or appropriately cautious?
He's being appropriately cautious right now. I mean, like I said, he needs to mix up the punches, throw some body punches. get Rahman to keep his hands down, throw some different type of punches that are in your arsenal, or and give him something else to think about.
Rahman pointed out that at 6 feet 7 inches tall, Wladimir doesn't really like to throw body punches because he has to lower his hands and expose himself to possibly being hit.
Here's that left hook by Wladimir, which is very effective.
And it was another one-sided round.
Very smart. You didn't burn up too much energy. Now he's tired. Now he cannot fight too good at the center of the ring now. You see how when you hit him with the left hook, before he was missing, his legs is tired now, okay?
Stop doing it. You're not doing it.
Oh, with a three-piece.
You're waiting for one shot. Don't wait for one shot with this guy.
I'll do that, man.
Okay, don't let him get too relaxed. You let him get too relaxed in the zone.
You gotta press him now.
Okay?
Three-piece.
Stay behind the double jab, Rock, and keep the heat on him. You gotta keep the heat on him, baby.
Yeah.
Because stand on the outside is not gonna work.
You know we ain't gonna be no decision here.
Okay?
Three-piece.
Keep,
You
don't
gotta
look
take
for
it
the
to him
knockout.
now.
Don't look for it. Just let your hands go.
Okay?
It's the cocoa butter. Okay.
As he tried to listen to Buddy McGirt's instructions, Hasim Rahman looked very tired, even after only 3 rounds. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. 3-0. 30-27, Wladimir Klitschko. Jim, I don't know why I scored that third round 10-9, because really, it easily could have been a 10-8 round. Wladimir won it so big. I mean, you just can't do the rope-a-dope against Wladimir Klitschko. He'll kill you. Wladimir landing, piling up points with that left jab, coming across with the real good right hands, just doing a number on Rahman so far. 3-0, Klitschko based on clean punching.
What we're watching here is the best heavyweight in the world. We're watching so far, Wladimir Klitschko against one of the 20 best heavyweights in the world. In Rahman, he's still probably one of the 20 best, maybe on a good night, one of the 10 best. And we're seeing a wide distance between Wladimir and that non-upper echelon kind of contender at this point.
And, I believe that Rahman's still fighting the fight wrong. He needs to put a little more pressure on him. He needs to try and get in there and hit him with some shots, which is not easy because he's trying to duck under the jab. But when he ducks under the jab, a right hand is coming or a left hook. Doesn't really have anything to worry about with the uppercut right now because Vladimir's not throwing it. But
well, you heard the discussion in Rahman's corner as Buddy McGirt accurately observed, Rock, you seem to be looking for one big shot. And the way to land one big shot is not to look for one big shot, but rather to try to land several.
Not only is he looking for a big shot, he's trying to allow Wladimir to tire himself so he'll be able to throw one great punch in there. And this is what he feels that may happen in the fight. But right now he's getting tagged with a lot of shots, which is taking a lot of energy out of him. So whether he's going to have a lot of strength left to be able to throw that big shot is the question.
Layman Brewster, before his upset win over Wladimir Klitschko, said he was going to have to try to beat him like Rocky Balboa would, by taking everything he had early and staying in his chest as the fight wore on, which is what happened, and Brewster won by knockout. Maybe Rahman has the same idea here. Weather the storm early.
Well, as the fight goes on, Rahman's getting a bit more tired. He's still getting hit by those jabs, and whether he can still get away from the right hands, we're going to have to see, because Wladimir is becoming very sharp with the right hand and with the jab. And when he hits you with a lot of jabs, the right hand's going to come.
Sometimes you weather the storm, sometimes the storm weathers you. I'd say more often than not.
Since the loss to Layman Brewster in April of 2004, Klitschko has won 9 straight fights, looking for a 10th win in a row here, looking to get to 52-3 in a career which, for his critics, has been defined entirely by the losses and not by the 51 successes. Such are the pitfalls of being the king of the hill.
Okay?
Baltimore in the house. Come on.
You gotta light that fuse. You gotta start keeping the heat on him. Stop standing on the outside. Don't let the guy get any confidence. You got to make this a dogfight, Rock.
Absolutely. You took everything you got.
Okay? You got to make it a dogfight.
Move your head and
Listen,
get in
Rock,
his
hands here. Okay? You got your hands too far apart. Hands here, and let's come in behind the double jab. And just let your hands go. You got it.
The left hooks that you were missing before are landing now because his legs are not, before he could see good enough. Now he can't see them so good. That's why you're hitting him with the hooks. Before he was getting away, but now you're hitting him with the hooks down. You can step it up a little bit this round. Just get him on out of here.
Tommy Box numbers on jabs so far in the fight. Klitschko 89 of 172. In other words, he's landing more than half his jabs, 52%. Rahman 11 out of 106. Lennox, I think Buddy McGirt is giving Hasim Rahman good advice in the corner between rounds, but of 53 previous Rahman fights, Buddy trained him for only one. So it's really a shot in the dark as to whether he's going to hear Buddy's good instructions tonight.
It's true. Buddy should give him some defensive advice as well and tell him to keep up that right hand, because I can see a left hook right hand coming from Klitschko.
There's the left hook. There's the double left hook. And the straight right hand behind it. Good call, champ.
Jim, you mentioned a shot in the dark, and Lennox, you mentioned it off the top of the broadcast, and that's really what Rahman is here for, isn't it? To see if he can land that shot in the dark, and it's the kind of odds he's facing. It's going to take a shot in the dark to do it.
And let's face it, he does have the knockout power. He does throw a good wild punch, and I don't think he has enough steam or quickness to be able to catch Wladimir right now. Anything can happen. Lightning can strike, but whether he has enough energy to do it, whether he's in great enough shape to be able to do it, is the question. I say he doesn't have enough. He's not in good enough shape to be able to do it. But
he wasn't expected to, and so far the fight is playing out as most expected.
A couple of years ago, in his rematch with Klitschko, when Lehman Brewster was subjected to this kind of jab fest, eventually Buddy McGirt and the others with Brewster decided it was not worth the continued damage, and he kicked it in.
You see when Rock tried to attack Wladimir, Wladimir moved back 2 steps, and Rock missed his punches because he's not quick enough on his feet right now to be able to catch him.
Before Buddy stopped that fight, the rematch, Jim, he told Brewster, and really asked him more than told him, I'm going to stop the fight, okay. He gave Brewster a chance to show that he had some at least desperation left in him, and Brewster didn't. He had the fight beaten out of him. And at a certain point, the question is, will Rahman also have the fight beaten out of him?
Buddy had virtually the same conversation with Paulie Malignaggi 3 weeks ago against Ricky Hatton. And Klitschko is getting closer and closer to doing real damage, or so it would appear, to Hasim Rahman.
Well, I'd just like to add, I knocked Rahman out in 4 rounds. And this is the 5th round, and Rahman was at his best. This
observation.
This is Rahman at his worst.
Well, Vladimir's a very fast and pretty big puncher, but I don't think there's any ring critic, Lennox, who thinks that he is as heavy a puncher as you were. You had the thudding power. He has shocking power.
Yes.
Stop, I got you.
But we'll never know. We'll never know, will we, Lennox?
No, hold the hand.
I think some people can form an opinion after watching this fight.
Well, what you're saying is you've formed an opinion.
Yes, I have. Absolutely.
Got a small cut, right eye by a punch.
December 23, Real Sports looks back at its most memorable stories of 2008, capped by a roundtable discussion among Bryant Gumbel and all the correspondents. And beginning December 27, HBO Sports will bring you our Boxing's Best of 2008, 5 memorable fights from the past year. Up first, Antonio Margarito's thrilling victory over Miguel Cotto in July, and Manny Pacquiao's razor-thin victory over Juan Manuel Marquez in their March 15 rematch.
I'm going to wipe him out.
It's a dogfight with him now, Rock. Okay?
You got him.
Hands
No
up,
decision.
head moving.
You got him.
Keep that pressure on him.
Absolutely.
All right? Don't stand on the
No
outside. You
decision.
can't stay on the outside.
He took everything he got.
Okay? Don't stay on the outside. Let's not take no more shots like that, okay?
Okay? Instructions to give him.
One slight assistance to Rahman that's taking place here is that between rounds periods are longer than a minute. They've been averaging about a minute 10, a minute 15, which means, and it doesn't mean a lot, but it means that Rahman's getting an extra 10 or 15 seconds between rounds to recover. And recovery may no longer be an option as he goes down for the first time on a left-right combination.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me. You okay? All right, I'm gonna give you a chance.
He still looks a bit unstable on his feet, and that punch did hurt him, whether it was a hard punch or not, but it did kind of give him a little bit of cobwebs.
Well, to me, it looks like he's both hurt and exhausted. His legs are going away, whether from the accumulated punishment or the absence of conditioning, or both.
I've never seen Rahman have the fight beaten out of him like this. Even in his losses, he's fought on until the end, and he's been systematically taken apart, and it seems his will to fight on has indeed been broken.
He's never been in the fight even for a second.
Yeah, well, this is an opportunity for him. You know, they said to Rahman, here's a fight, here's an opportunity, here's a date. Can you make it? 3 weeks to train? You know, I would never have taken a fight on 3 weeks to train. Maybe 16 days.
Talking earlier about the difference between you and Wladimir, Lennox, seems to me that the real difference people see in the two of you, both big, both with Emmanuel Stewart in your corner and technicians with power, is that you were tough. When you were knocked down, you tried your best to go on. You won some very tough fights over some great fighters. Do you think Wladimir is tough enough? He's not being forced to show evidence of it here, but do you think he's tough enough to one day be recognized as a great fighter?
Yeah, I mean, he's tough now. What he needs to be doing right now, I mean, he's throwing the jab, but he's throwing just two different punches. Jab, left hook, right hand. There's no uppercuts, there's no body punches. Now, this is what people want to see. Want to see true boxing. They're only seeing left hands and right hands and left hooks. But there's uppercuts, there's body punches, there's different combination punches which he should be throwing.
Well, he's known as a cerebral fighter. Are you saying he's not putting the pedal to the metal when he needs to?
Well, I believe that he holds back a little bit too much, where he should really let loose a bit more. Like in this position, he should take his right foot, step over to the side, and start punching from the right side. Switch again and go on the left side of Rahman. Right now he's in front of Rahman. Rahman doesn't have to look anywhere, just look in front of him, because that's where Wladimir Klitschko is.
Stop. Let him up.
In round 6, after constant sustained punishment for the 5 preceding rounds, Wladimir Klitschko finally put Hasim Rahman on the deck. Let's take a look at the combination.
And it was a combination like, you know, Rahman put his head down, he was off balance, and Wladimir hit him with a couple left hooks, which kept it going that way, and he just was off balance and he fell down. It wasn't a terrific hard shot.
You want to continue to fight?
Yeah, all to the end.
Okay, look, but if you continue to take punches like that, I'm not going to let it happen. All right?
Hey, so you know you got to let your hands go now.
Okay.
Looks fine, though. I'm good. In a minute.
Okay, listen. You okay, baby?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, man, listen. Let's go ahead and do what we got to do this round, all right? The referee's not going to let you take no shots like that, bro.
We're good.
Okay? You got to make it a dogfight, baby. Okay? All right?
Get hit with them fucking punches.
Don't give the shots.
Let them lean on this. Okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Stop letting them
Let
lean
him
on
get
this.
back to the reach.
He's going to hold your right hands now. You know that. He's going to let everything hang out this round.
We're good.
Yeah, I know it. Get on him quick. Let's go.
Round 6 was at least a 10-8 round. Wladimir Klitschko was 28 of 68 by CompuBox count in the round, and Hasim Rahman landed 1 of 16 punches. Harold, how do you have it halfway through?
Okay, Jim, 60 to 53, 6-0, Wladimir Klitschko. Jim, I think he's on his game. I got to tell you, he's piling up points beautifully with that left jab. mixing in the left hook and throwing a right hand. You got to give him an extra point in round 6 for the knockdown. Certainly it could have got to 10-7 he won it so big. Be as it may, 6-0, Wladimir Klitschko.
Now Rahman wobbles again after another left-right combination. You heard referee Tony Weeks warning Rahman he won't be allowed to continue to take sustained punishment.
And here it is.
This is over, baby. This is done. And Wladimir Klitschko, criticize what you will. He's 52-3 with 46 knockouts. Not bad.
Long tradition in boxing, throughout boxing history, of the dominant heavyweight of the moment taking on a former champion who's no longer at his best, but has name recognition and dismantling him. And here is another example of that.
One thing for sure, if you're going to fight Wladimir Klitschko, you better be in great shape. You better be in shape that to be able to take a punch and go through the complete rounds all the way to 12. If you're looking at you're only in shape to go 5 rounds, you're not going to win the fight.
Let's take another look at the action which prompted referee Tony Weeks to step in and protect Hasim Rahman by stopping the fight.
Well, Rahman's got these punches and he's thrown a lot of different punches, but I'm talking Wladimir. And the ref didn't want to see any more punishment because there was no way that Rahman could have won this fight. And he looked very tired. He went over to talk to him in the corner, and Rahman couldn't even hardly say a word. He was definitely tired.
You told us in the first round, Lennox, that Hasim Rahman was wide open for the left hook. And that turned out to be a very prescient call. Throughout the fight, it appeared Wladimir could not miss with the left hook.
He couldn't miss with the left hook. He was very sharp. I mean, Rahman gave him an easy target, didn't move his head, and was standing in one place. And, it seemed like a lot of steam has come out of Rahman. He doesn't have it like he used to have it. And, like I said, he took this fight on a couple weeks' notice. Whether he's in good shape or not, he was in shape to go through at least 3 rounds, but not the complete fight.
You made a great point when you just said moments ago, if you're going to fight Wladimir Klitschko, you had better be in sensational shape and ready to go 12 rounds at a fast pace. Does that, for the moment, disqualify American knockout sensation Chris Arreola, who seems to have a problem controlling his weight?
Well, I believe so. I mean, Arreola is a great guy, great fighter, but if you fight him in a 12-foot ring, you're going to have problems. But in a 20-foot ring where he has to move around and use some boxing and technical skills, it's going to be very difficult for him because he's not that type of fighter. So I don't see that being a good fight for him. I think he needs to get some boxing experience, some technical experience, and then he can really come in, because obviously it's a good fight to see, but it's not a good fight.
You got touched. You landed almost everything you threw. Rate your performance.
That's what I have to do in the ring, and Hasim Rahman really got punished, and I have to give him respect. He was keep calming, and every round. And to be honest with you, I was expecting the corner giving up earlier.
You looked, in your upper body at least, physically bigger and stronger than you have in the past. Have you done anything different in preparation for this fight?
Actually, nothing different. I think that I'm really entering, as Lennox Lewis and many other heavyweights in the history said, that when you over 30, the heavyweight is getting better. That's actually what I feel at my age and at my stage.
Okay, your brother came back, beat Sam Peter convincingly. You two are now the top 2 heavyweights in the world. We understand, you said many times, obviously there won't be a Klitschko versus Klitschko fight. That leaves various contenders, including the man you were supposed to face tonight, Alexander Povetkin. Do you have any thoughts on an upcoming Povetkin fight?
I think that Hasim Rahman is more experienced than Povetkin. Povetkin's a young fighter, and of course, I was expecting Povetkin, that was a wish of Emmanuel and myself, to fight Alexander Povetkin tonight. But unfortunately, he couldn't make it because he got injured. And anytime soon, we're going to see Povetkin Klitschko in 09.
David Haye has also been calling you out. Chris Arreola is on his way up. You have some interesting contenders in front of you. What is your preference?
I haven't heard David Haye tonight because he's been loud. And where is he? So anyway, I think that exciting time in the heavyweight is coming. We got Alexander Povetkin, we got David Haye, we got Chris Arreola, we got somebody else probably. So now it's going to be very excited.
Wladimir, before I let you go, you and Vitaly talked as you grew up about one day monopolizing everything in the heavyweight division. You two are, in fact, together the heavyweight champion of the world. How do you feel about that right now? Do you wish that you could be heavyweight champ all by yourself one day?
You know, to be honest with you, I do share with my brother jointly the heavyweight division. And I think it's even more exciting to do it together with my brother than to do it alone.
Thank you, champ.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Jim.
Maybe. But there are still millions out there who yearn for a single identifiable heavyweight champion. And if Wladimir Klitschko is your guy, it was a successful year. Knockout victories over Tony Thompson and Hasim Rahman to get the record to 52, I should say, and 3 with 46 knockouts.